She demanded, "Let me go through your phone right now." I handed it to her unlocked and said, "Be my guest." Then I picked up her phone. The terror that washed over her was all the proof I needed. I, 31 male, learned something crucial last Tuesday night. When someone suddenly becomes obsessed with your supposed secrets, they're usually hiding their own. My girlfriend Natasha, 29, and I had been together for 3 years. Good relationship, or so I thought. She worked as an interior designer. I managed a small bookstore. Not glamorous lives, but comfortable. We'd been living together for about a year in a decent 2-bedroom apartment. The paranoia started small about 2 months ago. Little comments about who I was texting, questions about why I smiled at my phone, jokes that weren't really jokes about having a work wife. I brushed it off initially. We all have insecure moments, right? But it escalated. Last Tuesday, we were watching Netflix after dinner. My phone buzzed, text from my assistant manager about switching shifts. I responded quickly and put the phone down. "Who was that?" Natasha asked. "Jasper, scheduling stuff. At 9 p.m., he works closing tonight. Just asking about tomorrow." She stared at me for a long moment, then suddenly stood up. "Give me your phone." "What? Let me go through your phone, right now." I looked at her, genuinely confused. "Why?" "If you have nothing to hide, it shouldn't be a problem." The thing is, I really didn't have anything to hide. My texts were boring work stuff, memes from my brother, and a group chat about fantasy football. My photos were mostly of books, our cat, and failed attempts at latte art. "Nat, where is this coming from? You're being defensive. That's suspicious." "I'm not being defensive. I'm confused." "Just give me your phone," I could have argued, could have talked about trust and privacy. But something in her desperation made me curious. This wasn't normal Natasha behavior. I unlocked my phone and handed it over. "Be my guest." She grabbed it eagerly, already swiping through apps. Then I reached for her phone on the coffee table. The change was instant. Her face went from triumphant to terrified in about 0.3 seconds. "What are you doing?" she squeaked. "Same thing you're doing." That's different." "How?" You can't just." "If you have nothing to hide, it shouldn't be a problem." I echoed her words back calmly. She clutched my phone tighter. "This isn't about me." "Apparently it is. Marcus, don't," but I'd already picked up her phone. It was locked, obviously. "Password?" I forgot it." "You forgot your own phone password?" It's new. I changed it recently." "Why?" "Security." I looked at her, really looked at her. She was sweating, actually sweating. Over me, potentially looking at her phone while she freely scrolled through mine. "Natasha, what's on your phone?" "Nothing." "God, why are you making this about me?" "You literally demanded to search my phone." I agreed. "Why can't I do the same?" Because you're the one acting suspicious." "How am I acting suspicious?" "You're always on your phone." "I run a business, you know this." Late-night texts from employees, which you're currently reading. She was still scrolling frantically through my phone, but I could see her hands shaking. She wasn't even reading anymore, just swiping to look busy. "Unlock your phone, Nat." "No." "Why?" "I don't have to explain myself to you." The projection was so obvious it was almost painful. Here she was, desperate to find evidence of cheating on my phone while guard-dogging her own like it contained nuclear codes. I set her phone down. "Okay." She looked up, surprised. "Okay? Yeah, you don't have to show me." Relief flooded her face. "Good, because this is ridiculous but I know everything I need to know now." The relief vanished. "What does that mean?" "It means you're looking for evidence of something you're guilty of." Classic projection. "I'm not projecting anything." "Then why are you terrified of me seeing your phone?" "I'm not terrified, I just value my privacy." While violating mine, she threw my phone at me, literally threw it. Lucky I caught it. "You're being manipulative," she screamed. "I'm being logical." "Same thing, you always do this, turn everything around on me." "When have I ever asked to see your phone before today?" She couldn't answer that. Because I hadn't. Not once in 3 years. "I'm gonna bed," she announced, storming off. I sat there for a while, processing. The guilty flee when no one pursues, as they say, and Natasha had just sprinted away from a race I wasn't even running. The next morning, she acted like nothing happened. Made breakfast, chatted about her day, kissed me goodbye, but she took her phone into the bathroom while she showered. She'd never done that before. I had a decision to make. I could pretend everything was fine, or I could find out what had her so scared. I chose option 3. I waited. Because here's the thing about guilty people, they always tell on themselves. You just have to be patient. And I'm very patient. Update 1. Patience paid off faster than expected. After the phone incident, Natasha's behavior became increasingly erratic. She password protected her laptop, never had before. Started taking calls on the balcony. Suddenly had way more client meetings that ran late. But the biggest tell? She became obsessed with my whereabouts. Where are you going? To get milk. How long will you be? 20 minutes. Why did it take 25 minutes? There was a line. Send me a selfie so I know you're really at the store. Are you serious? The projection was off the charts. Every controlling behavior screamed, I'm doing something wrong, and assume you are too. I documented everything in a notebook. Not for revenge, just for my own sanity. When someone tries to gaslight you, written records help you trust your own perception. Thursday night was when things cracked open. Natasha was at a client dinner. She'd been very specific about it being at Romano's, even mentioned she might be late because the client was chatty. Cool. Except my buddy Trevor texted me a photo from Romano's that same night. He was there for his anniversary. No Natasha in sight. I didn't confront her, just filed it away. She came home around 11 p.m., slightly disheveled, smelling like cologne that wasn't mine. How was dinner? I asked casually. Oh, exhausting. The client wouldn't stop talking about their beach house renovation. I must have heard about their marble countertops 15 times. Sounds rough. Romano's still doing that great tiramisu? What? Oh, yeah, it was good. She'd never been good at lying. Her tells were obvious. Touching her ear, looking up and to the left, over-explaining details nobody asked for. I'm gonna shower, she announced, clutching her purse like it contained gold bars. While she showered, her phone, left on the dresser in her rush, lit up with a text. I didn't touch it, didn't need to. The preview showed everything. Last night was amazing. Can't wait to see you again. A. Not even creative enough to use a fake name. I took a photo of the notification with my phone. Evidence. When she came out, I was reading in bed like nothing happened. Tired? I asked. Exhausted. That client really wore me out. I'll bet they did. Friday, I did something petty but satisfying. I called Romano's. Hi, I think my girlfriend might have left her scarf there last night. We were there around 7:30. Reservation under Natasha Williams? Let me check, sir. No, I don't show any reservation under that name for last night. Oh, maybe under her company? Design Space Inc.? No, sir, nothing under that either. Huh. Must have been confused about the restaurant, thanks anyway. So now I had confirmation. She lied about where she was, who she was with, and what she was doing. The A text made it pretty clear what was actually happening. Saturday morning she woke up and immediately grabbed her phone. Checked it with her body angled away from me. Classic cheater behavior. Hey, I said, stretching. Wanna get breakfast at that place you love? Can't. Meeting a client. On Saturday? They work during the week. Weekends are the only time they can meet. Which client? Why does it matter? Defensive immediately. Just curious, you've been having a lot of weekend meetings lately. Are you tracking my meetings now? Should I be? She huffed and started getting dressed. I don't have time for your paranoia. My paranoia. That was rich. After she left, I did something I'm not proud of but felt necessary. I looked at our shared tablet's browser history. She'd forgotten she was logged into her email on it. I didn't read her emails. That felt too invasive. But I did notice she'd been getting a lot of messages from someone named Alex Morrison. Subject lines like last night, can't stop thinking about you, and when can I see you again? Alex. A. How original. I also noticed she'd been browsing apartment listings. 1-bedrooms in trendy neighborhoods way above her budget. Unless, of course, someone else was planning to help pay. That evening, she came home glowing, humming to herself, practically floating. Good meeting? I asked. Great meeting, really productive. What did you work on? Oh, you know, color schemes, fabric samples, boring stuff. Where did you meet? Their place. Where's that? Why are you interrogating me? I'm not, just showing interest in your day. She narrowed her eyes. Well, don't, it's weird. That night, while she slept, her phone buzzed constantly. I counted 17 texts between midnight and 2 a.m. Who has that much to say at that hour? Sunday was when I decided to test something. Hey, I was thinking we should do something spontaneous today. Drive somewhere, explore. What do you think? Her face fell. Today? I can't. I have another client meeting? A friend thing. Brunch with the girls. Which girls? Does it matter? It might. I ran into Stephanie yesterday. She mentioned you haven't responded to brunch invites in months. Caught. Her mouth opened and closed like a fish. Different girls. Work friends. From Design Space? Yes. Weird. Because I called your office yesterday to surprise you with lunch and they said you hadn't been in all week. This was a lie. I hadn't called anyone. But she didn't know that. The color drained from her face. You're checking up on me? No. I was trying to do something nice. But apparently you weren't where you said you'd be. Again. I was at client sites. Not everyone works from an office, Marcus. Right, all those clients who can only meet on evenings and weekends. Yes, exactly. God, you're so suspicious lately. Am I? Or am I just noticing patterns? She grabbed her purse. I'm not doing this. I have brunch. With Alex? I shouldn't have said it, but I was tired of the games. She froze in the doorway, didn't turn around. What? Alex Morrison, the person texting you at 2 a.m., the person you were with instead of Romano's, the person whose apartment listings you're browsing. That Alex? The silence stretched for maybe 30 seconds. Then she left, slamming the door. I sat there, oddly calm. The truth was out now. The question was, what would she do with it? My phone rang 20 minutes later. Natasha, probably calling to gaslight me about how I was crazy and paranoid. But it wasn't Natasha, it was an unknown number. Hello? Is this Marcus? Male voice, nervous. Yes, who's this? This is Alex Morrison. I think we need to talk. Plot twist. Didn't see that coming. Final update. The conversation with Alex Morrison was not what I expected. At all. I know this is weird, he started, but I just found out about you. Natasha told me she was single. Has been telling me that for 4 months. 4 months. We met at a design conference in June. She said she'd just gotten out of a long relationship and wasn't looking for anything serious. June. When she'd gone to that boring work thing, I'd offered to attend with her. She'd insisted I'd hate it. She never mentioned you, not once. I only found out because my sister saw us at lunch yesterday and said, "Isn't that Natasha? I thought she lived with someone." I confronted her, and she admitted everything. I was oddly calm. And you're calling me why? Because I'm pissed. And I thought you should know the truth. She played us both. What did she tell you about me? Nothing. That's the thing. You didn't exist in her version of reality. She complained about her ex sometimes, said he was controlling and paranoid. Made her check in constantly, went through her phone. I actually laughed. That's literally what she's been doing to me. Yeah, I'm starting to see a pattern. Look, I'm sorry. If I'd known. Not your fault. You didn't know. We talked for a few more minutes. Alex was a marketing director, recently divorced, thought he'd found something real with Natasha. He was hurting too. After we hung up, I texted Natasha. Alex called, we need to talk. She was home within an hour. Flew through the door like a hurricane. What did he tell you? He's lying. He's obsessed with me. I rejected him and now he's trying to ruin my life. Natasha, stop. You don't understand. He's been stalking me. That's why I've been so paranoid about phones. I was trying to protect you. The lies were desperate now. Throwing everything at the wall. He knew details, Nat. Dates, times, places. The conference in June, The apartment hunting, that was for a client. The weekend meetings. You're really going to believe some stranger over me? He's not the one who's been lying for 4 months. She shifted tactics. Tears now. Okay, I met him. We had coffee a few times. Maybe I didn't mention it because I knew you'd overreact. Coffee doesn't text at 2 a.m. We're friends. Friends don't browse apartments together. You went through my phone? No. You left the tablet logged in. More tears. Bigger tears. I was confused. You've been so distant lately. I've been distant? You literally accused me of cheating while you were having an affair. It wasn't an affair, we just connected. You don't understand me anymore. Classic cheater's script. I was almost impressed by how textbook it was. Natasha, I need you to leave. The tears stopped instantly. What? Pack what you need for a few days. Go to your sister's or wherever. We'll figure out the rest later. You can't kick me out. I live here. You're right. I can't force you, but I'm asking you to give me space to process this. Process? There's nothing to process. We can work through this. You've been cheating for 4 months while accusing me of cheating, while demanding to see my phone, while lying about literally everything. It's not that simple. It really is. She tried anger. Fine, you want to throw away 3 years over a misunderstanding? You threw it away, I'm just acknowledging it. She tried bargaining. We can do counseling. I'll cut off Alex, I'll give you all my passwords. You mean the passwords you wouldn't give me when you were going through my phone? She tried manipulation. I guess I'll just be homeless then, since you clearly don't care what happens to me. Your sister lives 20 minutes away, you're not going to be homeless. Finally, she tried threats. I'll tell everyone what kind of person you really are. How controlling you've been. Go ahead. Tell them how I checks notes, let you go through my phone while refusing to show me yours. That'll sound super convincing. She packed a bag while alternating between sobbing and screaming, called me every name in the book, said I'd regret this, said I'd never find anyone who loved me like she did. God, I hoped that was true. After she left, I changed the locks. Yes, same day. Yes, I know that's fast, but I'd actually scheduled it the day before, after Alex called. I had a feeling she'd react badly. That night, the text started. I'm at Monica's. Happy? Can't believe you're doing this. We need to talk like adults. You're overreacting. Alex meant nothing. I love you. Please answer me. This is ridiculous. I'm coming home tomorrow. You can't change the locks. That's illegal. I have rights. Actually, she didn't. Lease was in my name only. She'd insisted on that when we moved in because her credit was shot from overspending. Ironic how that worked out. The next day I boxed up her things, neatly, carefully, took photos of everything for documentation, arranged for her sister to pick them up. Her sister Monica was surprisingly understanding. I'm sorry, she said when she arrived. I had a feeling something was going on. She's been weird lately. Weird how? Secretive, defensive, spending money she doesn't have, new clothes, new jewelry. I asked where it was coming from. Let me guess, work bonuses? Yep. We loaded the boxes in silence. As she was leaving, Monica turned back. For what it's worth, I think she knows she screwed up. She was up all night crying. Crying because she got caught, not because she did it. Yeah, probably. That was a week ago. The texts have stopped, the calls have stopped, Natasha has gone silent. But Alex reached out again. Apparently, she tried to convince him I was abusive and he should save her. When he refused to play along and told her he was done, she accused him of taking Marcus's side and blocked him. My favorite part? She's now posting inspirational quotes on Instagram about toxic relationships and knowing your worth. The comments are all supportive friends who don't know the real story. I don't care enough to correct them. I kept one screenshot though. From her stories. A quote that says, "The guilty are always the most suspicious." Paulo Coelho. The irony is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Am I sad? Sure. 3 years is a long time, but I'm more relieved than sad. Living with someone who projects their guilt onto you is exhausting. Being accused of things you're not doing while they're actively doing those things, that's crazy making. The apartment is quiet now. Peaceful. I can leave my phone anywhere without worry. No more interrogations about my whereabouts. No more defending innocent interactions. Last night, I re-downloaded dating apps. Not because I'm ready to date, but because I can. Without someone demanding to know who I'm talking to while hiding their own conversations. Freedom is weird after living under suspicion. But I'll take weird over whatever that was. Oh, and the final ironic twist? Jasper, my assistant manager, whose text started this whole thing? He asked yesterday if everything was okay at home. Said Natasha had come by the store a few times asking weird questions about my schedule and who I worked with. She'd been checking up on me for months while cheating, while accusing me of being suspicious. The projection was so complete it was almost artistic. Anyway, that's my story. Girl demands to see my phone. I hand it over and ask for hers. She panics because she's been cheating for months while accusing me of the same thing. Sometimes the simplest test reveals the biggest truths. And sometimes, when someone accuses you of something repeatedly, they're just telling you their own confession.